Hey YouTube, coming at you with what is sort of becoming a series for me and is using Pokemon that were really meta and useful in GBL in the past but are not used pretty much at all, I won't say at all anymore, but not used much in Great League anymore because of the Great League meta, right? So I covered Beedrill and I covered Mew, like old school, really like Season 1, Season 2. But then I'm looking at Lickitung and I built this thing up and it's level like 47 and a half, somewhere around there. I built this up, was one of the best save swaps in the league, and then Noctowl just became everywhere. And because Noctowl became everywhere, Registeel and Bastiodon became everywhere. And it just, between those three, Lickitung is just almost useless. And then I tried it and it is not useless. And that is kind of what this video is going to showcase. Lickitung is actually quite good still. And I'm just thinking about the core, right? Obviously Noctowl, Bastiodon, and Galarian, Galarian Stunfisk, and Registeel you're going to have a bit of trouble with. But medicham is actually pretty interesting because even though they're doing super effective with the counters, you're also doing super effective with the lick. So that matchup is closer than you think it is. And then you have like the Bio Whip for this, and then you're like a wall for Sableye and Trevenant too, and you're so bulky that you can just absorb a ton of damage. So it's quite a good Pokemon. So I paired it with Froslass and Lanturn. Froslass I wanted to try because I know I've used Abomasnow, but in the past before as like a core breaker for Lanturn Noctowl. I think Froslass just has a bit more play, just because you can also do well against Medicham, and just again Avalanche and Shadow Ball are just such hard hitting moves. And then Lanturn because I do need something in the back for like Bastiodon and Registeel. So that is why I put that there. So here we go on the lead. We're both doing resisted moves here, but I've got to imagine that I'm going to outpace these Shadow Balls, and Brine is such a bad move that it's probably going to still take 2 Shadow Balls and 2 Brines to take each other out here. So I'm in an okay situation here just to stay in here. And they're still not throwing, so they finally throw here, which is fine. So there's the one here. I'm going to hit with the Brine. I could shield, or I could let this go because, again, it's not going to take me out, and they're not going to poison because that's resisted. They'll get to a segment. I'm going to keep switch here because I think not only can I take this matchup, which I definitely can, I can also get ahead on energy here a little bit. And they try to catch, and they tried to catch right on Noctowl. I like the idea, try to catch a Shadow Ball, that would have been a good catch. But now you just leave yourself open to straight domination here, get that off, we'll come in here and just farm down. They're going to throw, even Shadow Ball is just still like 30%, 40%, like not anywhere near enough. Going to have energy for what comes in next. And this is why Lanturn is, they really need to like nerf Surf. Because Surf is one of these moves where I always see it against I know Swampert's classy, but a Shadow Swampert, Surf does over 50%, and it only takes 5 sparks to get to. So Surf is such a hard hitting move for what is supposed to be just like a nothing move, realistically, right? It's not like Hydro Cannon or anything, but it just gets you so fast. And so yeah, like Lanturn is a beast, and that's why it's everywhere. And now this is just where and this thing about Lickitung, like in the back there, you can just absorb so much damage. And any time you're in like a situation where it's like your opponent needs to land like multiple, I talked about the Galarian Stunfisk matchup. Like I don't even actually know if it's a Galarian Stunfisk matchup is a loss. Let me just actually check that. I know Registeel probably is because you have no move to throw at it, but the Galarian Stunfisk you can throw Power Whips against. And if you shield up an Earthquake properly, my guess is that you probably do take that matchup. So Lickitung is still ranked number 11. So people are like, why are you using it? It's because, like, how many Lickitungs have you seen this season? And my guess is that it is probably not many. I have seen very few Lickitungs in this meta so far. So it has a 22 and 18 record. The main issues being, again, counter users, Obsidian, Vigorouse, Crafty, right? They're normal typings or dark, so licks are resisted and they do counter, so you're gonna get killed. And there's the problem with number 4, Noctowl, 362. So big match. Okay, Galarian Stunfisk 372, right? So you lose that too. And then Medicham 421, Bastiodon 431, Registeel 44, right? So those are all your losses, and that's the problem. That's why I think you're not seeing as much, because I just nailed off Noctowl, Galarian Stunfisk, Medicham, Bastiodon, Charmaine, Ninetales, but that's whatever, and then Drapion, and then Registeel. So there's 5 of your main like 6 or 7 metas that you lose to, right? The other ones being Swampert, 549, so you win, but not as super strong there. Lanturn, you do take Water Gun or Spark, 603 and 614, so you take both of those matchups. And then, again, you're such a good answer to Trevenant, 674. Anything that's Ghost, right, that you can just lick down. So that is why you're not seeing as much. But if you do just sort of the analysis and look at the graph, the graph of the wins and losses, it is still basically in the middle. Like outside of like those really hard losses in Obstagoon and they're there. Like even the Noctowl losses is a 362, which means you lose, but it's not like an insane loss. And here we go. Like get this on here. Power Up will still do a decent amount. Return will hurt. So I tried to shield it and they bait, which is an interesting bait. But I guess it makes sense. I would just thought like I only have one shield left to grab that shield or do a nuke move, but they must not watch this channel. Power Up does a lot, and they're probably going to get to a return now, which is bad. I'm in a bad situation here. But we'll see. Again, you can easily tank a return. Like they're going to need return plus probably foul play plus there to take me out. So I don't know if that was a great. Now Altera comes in, and this is where like body slam is still okay, right? Again, you're very defense oriented, so it's not huge, but like between the licks and these body slams, they're starting to add up here. Like we're gonna chip Altera down to 50% health, which is not terrible. And they had to shield, and now they're gonna try and farm me down. I'm gonna get another one off here. So this is looking okay. Putting in a ton of work here. They're just going for the farm down to make sure they have a lot. I'm going to try and catch, and that did not work at all. So that's unfortunate. I tried to like throw one move and then catch. That's one of the ways to try and catch, but Lanturn's going to have to try and sweep here. And I don't know if I can. I took one Moonblast. Dragon Breath, problem is Dragon Breath neutral, and you win just going, and they are so far ahead on energy. I got to imagine they're going to get to another Moonblast here and take me out. So Lickitung did well in the mid game there, but just going down 2 shields. Don't they have a shield left? What am I throwing here for? They don't have a shield. I'm going to spark down and win. And I sparked down and won. Look at that. So look at that. Lickitung in the mid game there definitely put in a lot of work there for me. Defense Deoxys. This is a good matchup. Again, they're probably, I think that was only 5, so there's a Psycho Boost and Bail sort of thing. And they bail right into A9, Charm A9. So I'm going to get this off, and then I can go either Lickitung or... yeah, I might as well just full farm down here. I might as well throw. Yeah, there's no point of taking a Weather Ball if you don't need to. Especially that I spent Defense Deoxys to come in and farm here. And this is the matchup, like, this is the same with the Medicham matchup. Like, counter is super effective, yeah. Lick's also super effective. And these body slams come pretty quick. So between the Licks and the body slams, like, this is a decent work here. So... don't sleep on Lickitung. I shield Thunderbolt, which actually works too, because now I'm gonna grab a shield back and potentially just lick down here if I want a double shield. But no, I think I just want to grab they're gonna let it go. And it's another fairy. So that is unfortunate. Oh, I cannot get the move off. And I'm gonna now need to get to 3 moves because I'm not gonna be able to farm this down. I think I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna oh, poor timing too. Yeah, I'm gonna go down here. This is a double fairy team. That I don't think I'm going to be able to get to 3 moves. I need to get to this. That's 2. That's 2. That's with the body slam and that I was just short of getting to, or else I would have taken this matchup. But double fairy, what can you do? This Swampert matchup is not good. I'll probably shield once and stay in. The thing is, like, these powder snows or try and catch. This is where you also can use Lickitung just as like a just absorb it. So like Shadow Swampert hits like a truck, and that still doesn't even do 50%. So they'll get another move off. It still won't take me out. I think in this game my thought process is let's just sacrifice Lickitung. So look at that. I take two Hydro Cannons from a Shadow Swampert, and I still live enough to get a Body Slam off and chip damage here. So that is beautiful. I think Lanturn's the right play. I could come Froslass too. Yeah, I'm already almost out of moves, so might as well just come Froslass, knowing that they have to throw the Dazzling Gleam. And then yeah, froslass hits like a truck in neutral situations. Good 50% over shadow ball there. Sableye comes in, just gonna chip this here, and then I think Lanturn is probably the immediate answer here. I don't really want to take any more claws unnecessarily. Yeah, let's get out of here. And this is where you just got the power of Lanturn's spamminess with Spark and Surf and Thunderbolts coming in here. Shield up a return, which puts me in a really good situation. And again, I played this matchup on the other end before. This does over 50%. So that is going to put it super low. I guess it doesn't do over 50%. I guess between the Sparks, yeah, I guess between the Sparks and the Surf, it does 50%. But now I can just go double Surf, chip damage, and then Powder Snow down, probably. They let it go, which is fine. Here comes another one. Shield and switch into the farm. Yeah, throw and then switch into Froslass here. So again, the team works. You will have, what you haven't seen is like, again, galarian, stunfisk, and registeel are not super problems on the lead because you can still get like shadow balls off or avalanches off on galarian, stunfisk. The problem is Bastiodon. If you see like a Bastiodon lead, oh geez, it's like I almost planned this, but I just put in the battles at random. This is just kind of lucky here. The thing is, you still get these avalanches. I still may try and catch a rock slide here on Lickitung because this will do a ton of damage. And then one in, okay, so they wait. So I'm gonna shield just because rock slide does do a lot. And I think I can just grab the shield right back, and then I'll try to do that catch again. Yeah, or I'm gonna try and catch here. Yeah, there we go. Good job, me. So ton of chip damage off. Catch a rock slide. Thank you. The thing is, again, this is why this matchup is bad. They try to catch themselves. I was thinking that they may try and catch, so that's why I kind of held it. And again, this is a terrible matchup, but it's a terrible matchup when you're even energy. I'm already at 2 body slams, so I'm going to lose this matchup. But we're chipping here. And what I can do is if I chip enough, I can come to Lanturn and just spark all the way down and come out with a ton of energy. And look at that. So they're going to have to throw... And you know what? One Sky Attack is not going to take you out here. So they're going to have to throw 2 Sky Attacks, or I'm going to have to... Or I'm going to take them out here, and they're going to have to burn a shield. And they're going to do that. They're going to farm down all the way to try and come out with energy, but that just forced the shield here. So again, it's a bad matchup, but it's not a terrible matchup. Damage is done. They'll get a shadow ball off. They'll probably get 2 off here, quite honestly. Or they try to snipe. That's not a bad snipe because they probably do have Earthquake. Yeah, so I have to shield. I can get to a Surf. And now the question is, do I try and catch? Because I'm thinking they probably... What are they doing here? Dragonair. Oof. Problem is, I'm going to get 1 off. I'm not going to outpace this. And then Lanturn, everything is resisted here. So this... I've gone up... So I have a rank 1 Dragonair, but it's non-shadow. And every time I go against the Shadow Dragonair, I'm like, this is significantly better. And I was going to say... I'll check the rankings, but I don't even care what the rankings say. Straight up, in my gut, I feel that Shadow Dragonair is way better, and it is 65 or 68, so it's not way better. But what is the difference in the matchups? Because I always feel like my Dragonair, when I use it, just pales in comparison. So Shadow. Non-shadow is 18 to 22 and shadow is 19 to 22. And they kind of look the same. You just get destroyed by ice. Yeah, ice and fairy. There's nothing you can do there. And a bunch of mid. But I want to look at like the trevenant 3. Okay, this is non-shadow. Trevenant 370, medicham 388, 383, registeel 488. Well, what about the shadow? Does the shadow do any better? Yes, I can't even see Medicham. Medicham's 492, right? And Trevenant's 461. And that's kind of what I feel playing with, is that the extra damage that you get from the Shadow seems to make a difference in these matchups, and it does. You do significant... And Noctowl is 440. Where's Noctowl on this list? $500. So the non-Shadow Dragonair is better than the Shadow in the Noctowl matchup but it's worse than the Trevenant and Medicham matchup. So that is interesting. I gotta imagine you lose registeel. Yeah, a little worse than that because it probably like one-shots you, which makes sense. So there's trade-offs. Again, every time I go against that, I seem to not enjoy it. I seem to notice a difference that the shadow seems to be better. Anyways, that is not my team right now. We are looking at, I tried to catch there, it did not work. That is okay. So yeah, I think, again, I don't want to talk about Lanturn too much because everyone uses it. Froslass, pros and cons, a bit glassy, hits like a truck. Again, I still think Froslass is way better just in limited metas where you have like your Registeels and Bastiodons banned, because then it kind of just roams free and you're just looking in a good situation. And then Lickitung, I think is underrated. Again, I think it was super overrated. It's still ranked number 11, but I don't see it anymore. So I think it's underrated here. And that is just the tankiness and everything coming through there. So that is it. So I don't know the order, but I've done this for a couple others. So like I said, I already done Beedrill Mew. I've got a zoom roll coming, and I've got a great analysis on that. I found something. I know why it's not used as much anymore, and I'll discuss that in that video. And I used Kanto Ninetales again. And I don't know if it's a comfort thing, but I've got a team that's working so far. So hopefully I can just run with that team for a little bit too. But yeah, we will see. And I got one on Altaria coming too. Altaria is still kind of used a lot, but again, not super as much anymore, just because everyone's using noctowl. But I've got some thoughts on Altaria too. Anyways, stay tuned for a bunch of those Great League teams coming up. Thoughts about these past Pokemon that are not used as much anymore, and my thought process around why. Again, Lickitung not used as much anymore because Bastiodon, Galarian, Stunfisk, Registeel, Noctowl, and you do lose to Medicham, but it's close. But 5 out of like the 7 meta Pokemon that are everywhere you lose to, which is why Lickitung is not around anymore. I don't think that's a good reason to not use it. As you showed there, you can like just stay in a lot of these matchups. If you shield properly, you probably do like the Galarian Stunfisk. I bet you that's like shielding a Rock Slide instead of an Earthquake. If you shield an Earthquake, it's probably better. And then great answers to like Sableye and Trevenant and beat Lanturn and beat Swampert and stuff like that. So don't sleep on it. I still think it's worth building up. And yeah, again, we never know what moves are going to shake up after. So I think Lickitung is still one worth investing in. Anyways, that is it. Appreciate you watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.